But it's okay. We're not even worried about him. I really want to fight Shakur.
No, we need that Haney fight too, though.
No, I know. That's always going to be there, though. But that's who I want to fight. I want to go from Barrios to Shakur.
Oh, like straight to it.
Yeah.
What, 47?
44.
You're making 44.
I'll make a whole division called 44. Me and Shakur.
44?
He said he'd do it.
No rehydration, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a huge fight, too.
Yeah, and I know he's confident, so let's run it.
Shakur at 44. What do you think?
I love the fight. I think that's perfect. I think it'll be a lot of excitement to that fight. It's a big money fight. Ryan Garcia is somebody that comes in there. You never know which version of him is going to show up. So if the good version of him show up, he gets spanked. If the bad version of him show up, he gets spanked. Either way, he don't stand a chance.
But I do have Shakur beating him, though.
Yo,
I do have you beating him. I'll put that gap right back in that mouth. I'll have you looking like a saber gap tooth tiger. Oh my God, I'll do you dirty, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Hey, you though. Oh my, here we go. Hey, not the same fighter. Hey, not the same fighter. Not the same. Hey, when I put a beat on you, what are you gonna say? When I put a beat on you, what are you gonna say?
Ryan Garcia boldly called out Shakur Stevenson, insisting he can match his speed and is fully capable of handling him inside the ring.
They're gonna be all thinking he's gonna spank me, blah blah blah, all this.
Right.
And when I get in there and I start hitting him, it's gonna be a whole. Cause I'm not one of those fighters that don't have a quick eye. He knows that my eye is quick. He like I have that same eye twitch that Shakur has. I do. He knows it. We fought in the amateurs. I beat you. Don't even play around. You know I did. They robbed me because of, you know, your coach was doing something with that girl at the USA boxing. Don't think I don't know that. I know this shit. And talking about shit, you shit your pants at the Junior Golden Gloves, and we see.
Shakur Stevenson responded confidently, saying he's ready to fight Ryan Garcia and will dominate no matter which version of him shows up in the ring.
Against him. That's
crazy. His mother was a judge in our fight, but she had like influence on like the judging of the fight.
What about him saying that he thought that you think he really won the fight? How close was that fight?
It was an easy fight. It was not a hard fight. He's lying.
All right. Yeah. So Shakur Stevenson accepts your challenge, Ryan Garcia, at 144. Yeah. Coppinger says he can't make 44 anyway.
I'll be at his fight. Tell him talk that shit out there.
Shakur said Ryan needs to realize he isn't Devin Haney and can't be taken lightly or treated casually in the ring.
Response, I heard this before. I heard this. Tio said he was going to do a lot of things to me. He said he was going to knock me out. It sounds good, but Ryan Garcia got to understand one thing that's very important. I'm not Devin Haney. I'm not Devin Haney.
How are you different than Devin Haney?
With all due respect to Devin Haney, he got his game, but my game is at a higher level. My defense is way better. I could stand there in front of guys and defend myself. And I don't think Devin Haney has the type of defense I got that.
I totally agree with you on that. Where's my camera? I totally agree with him on that. And I like that.
And he's a hell of a fighter.
He's a good fighter, but he's not you. He's not you.
I agree.
He's not you. Is that a fight you want against him, or do you believe that there should be bigger fights on the horizon for you than a Devin Haney fight?
Nah, I think the Devin Haney fight is
Ryan Garcia vowed to humble Shakur decisively, promising to teach him a lesson unlike anything he has faced before in the ring.
Shakur, and I thought, wait a second, like the Haney fight is like the one that makes the most sense. Like it's a huge fight. There's built-in bad blood there. You felt like you got screwed in that whole situation. You want it back. Why is Shakur taking like the top now instead of a Haney rematch?
I just think that I'm one of those guys that I will just beat him, and I just think that everybody thinks he's just some savant in the ring, and I'm just here to take that away. That's pretty much what it is. They thought Devin Haney was the same way. He's unbeatable. That's what Eddie Hearn said, right? And then when I beat his ass. Same thing with Shakur. I know people are saying he's pound for pound, this and that, but I don't see it. He gonna have to prove it. I beat him in the amateurs. I'll beat him again, and I will hurt him. You don't understand me? Like, I will humble him in ways that he's never been humbled before.
Shakur confidently accepted a fight at 143 pounds, even saying Ryan could come in as heavy as 190 as long as he makes the contracted weight.
Reasonable, because he big as hell. Like, that walking around 180. I'm walking around, I ain't gonna tell y'all my weight, but I'm walking around not too far from my weight. So, he big as hell. So, truthfully, yeah, it can happen. I just think it gotta be at a reasonable weight. And I don't want no, like, rehydration clause. I don't want nothing that's gonna take away from me actually beating him. So, he could come in, long as he make the actual weight, I'll be with it. But it's gonna have to be a lot of testing. It's gonna have to be like some real testing.
Rather fight Ryan Garcia or Devin Haney?
I would rather fight either or. I think any of these guys get in front of me, they got a lot to deal with.
Who are you here with? Are these people, who's your manager? I know you got your brother.
My manager is Jay Prince, he not here.
Jay Prince is not here. Let me tell you something right now. I don't like your answers because I want you to get paid. Okay, your Devin Haney's not gonna get you paid.
You don't think so?
No.
Why don't you think that?
Because, look.
He's a big name. I'm a big name.
He's not that.
Everybody wants to see that fight.
Let me be respectful because I like David.
Knock that gap into your mouth again. Yeah, you fixed the teeth. You fixed the teeth. But I would knock that right back in.
I'm enjoying this.
Bam. Bam.
It's Shakur's time right now.
Well, hold on, Shakur. How do you answer to those who say you have to have a certain amount of power to keep the elite fighters off you? Because Ryan's saying you don't hit hard enough to keep elite fighters off you. What do you say to that?
I will be Ryan, I will be Tio, I'll be Devin, I'll be all these guys, bro. All these guys are good fighters. I don't take none away from them, but they can't beat me.
KingRy Garcia clarified that their full attention is currently on Mario Barrios, while assuring that a showdown with Shakur remains a target for the future once this fight is behind them.
They focus with, Mario Barrios. So anything after that, I could give you my input on there, but we are looking forward to other fights, and he's definitely on our list.
Yeah,
definitely.
What type of, training has this been? Because I know it's been a little animosity because of the Joe Goosen going over and working with. Has this changed the element of how you guys been training? Because it's a little personal. So can you describe a little bit how everything's been?
It's personal for him and Ryan, because he used to train Ryan and all that. With me, I was his assistant, so I worked with Joe. But hey, like he told me before, he's done this before. He's done this with other fighters, and I mentioned that it could be an ego thing. It could be something that he just wants to prove. He could do whatever he wants. That's up to him.
KingRy Garcia said he has reunited with his son, praising his renewed energy, discipline, and quiet, growing confidence.
So much noise around Ryan about Shakur, and he's saying 144. Do you like that fight?
That's another fight that we anticipate. Yeah, absolutely. Something that we fought him in the amateurs too. So of course, Ryan wants that back because we feel that we got robbed in the amateurs, and we know it. And I know it personally. So because I was in his corner. So that's be a good fight to take on.
Meanwhile, Shakur Stevenson took to X with a bold warning, writing, "I'm going to cook Ryan badly." Remember, I said it. Signaling strong confidence ahead of a potential clash. When Ryan Garcia called him out, Shakur doubled down, tweeting delivering another message. "I love when the tables turn. Set it up so I can show you why I'm different." All that talk sounds great. He even agreed to fight at 144 pounds. Insisting the matchup could happen whenever Garcia is ready. Garcia fired back by criticizing Stevenson's personality, calling him arrogant and unimpressive outside the ring. He pointed to their amateur past, recalling moments where he felt he outperformed Shakur, using that history to fuel his confidence. Ryan maintained that his comments aren't personal, but rooted in how he views Shakur's behavior, insisting their eventual showdown will settle who is truly superior.
Too ticked off too many people, but he does talk really arrogant shit.
And he is a little bit like that in person, you know, ever since amateurs just walking around like, you know, his shit don't stink, and it pisses me off. Like, I was in Vegas one day talking to his friend Keyshawn. We were having a great time, great conversation. I simply said, hey, yo, Shakur, come over, blah, blah, blah. He goes, just looks at me and goes, nah, you gotta come over here. Like, some arrogant shit. I'm like, bro, what is that? We're all just trying to, you know, figure it out. You know, it's just like, you don't gotta act like that, bro. Honestly, he didn't fight good at all. He was scared. He didn't fight. It's so biased. That commentary is disgusting. If Shakur don't throw a lot of punches, he's controlling the fight. If somebody else don't throw a lot of punches, it's, oh man, he's reluctant. Oh, he's hesitant. It's just so biased. Like, I can't even watch ESPN fights no more. I really can't. It's so.
Shakur Stevenson delivered a near-flawless performance against Teofimo Lopez, leaving little room for criticism. From the opening bell to the final round, he was sharp, disciplined, and tactically precise. Unlike many victories where small mistakes appear, this time there were no clear lapses. Every move had intention, and each adjustment looked carefully calculated, the kind of showing that quiets doubters because it reveals no obvious weaknesses to question in comparison. Devin Haney displayed moments of brilliance against Brian Norman Jr., particularly in the early stages. His second-round knockdown of a champion sparked excitement and hinted at a dominant performance. However, that early momentum did not continue to build toward a decisive finish. After the strong start, the fight settled into a more controlled pace rather than escalating. While the early surge impressed observers, the later rounds felt steady and measured rather than explosive.
Shakur Stevenson, his performance with Teo, I really had no real critique for him. That's how flawless the man operated. Pause. Right? I really could, like, I can't tell you the last time, like, because normally, even if a fighter wins, there's like a little something like, oh, you know, like, even, I'm not trying to throw anyone under the bus, but let's say Devin Haney, right? Devin Haney started off very strong with Brian Norman, and then the performance kind of fizzled out. You did what you did, and you convincingly beat a champion in Brian Norman that some people thought he would be able to knock you out. You dropped him in the second round, had a stanky leg in, so that part was good. But I feel like it didn't really crescendo after you drew first blood and hurt Brian Norman in that second.
The contrast between these performances becomes even clearer when consistency is considered. Haney's bout felt like a story that begins with high intensity but gradually loses momentum as it moves toward the ending. Stevenson, in contrast, sustained control, intelligence, and rhythm from start to finish. His precision and command were so steady that there was even talk he could have forced a stoppage if the pattern had continued. Lopez struggled to find reliable solutions as Stevenson controlled distance, timing, and pace throughout the fight. Now, Stevenson has shifted his focus toward Ryan Garcia, confidently stating that a similar level of dominance would follow in that matchup. Discussions continue among fans and analysts about future clashes and evolving rivalries, with Stevenson's recent form reinforcing the belief that he is currently operating at a level very few fighters can match.
According to Ryan Garcia, for some reason he's saying that Shakur pooped his pants. And this is not the first time that he said that. So I don't know what's up with that. He says Edgar Berlanga, boxer out of Brooklyn, was in the amateur circuit at the same time. So he was like, ask him, he knows. So what do we know? Ryan wants to fight against Shakur after the Barrios fight, right? Now, I gotta keep it real, like I always do on my channel. Shakur, I don't have a problem with his overall response. What I do have a problem with is he says, Ryan, fight me at 144, which is a catch.
Wade Plemons stresses that Shakur is an especially difficult opponent for Ryan, describing him as a tough matchup across multiple divisions, from 135 to 140 and possibly even 147 pounds in the future. While it remains uncertain whether Shakur will move up to welterweight, Plemons believes it is likely over time. He points out that Shakur's skill set, particularly his lead hand, is what makes him so dangerous. In his view, Shakur possesses one of the most intelligent and technically refined lead hands in boxing today. Although Ryan has a powerful lead hook, Plemons explains that Shakur's jab serves a very different purpose. It is precise, tactical, and used not just to create offense, but to control range and reinforce defense. He notes that this effectiveness was evident when Teofimo struggled to deal with the jab and repeatedly absorbed it without proper adjustment. According to Plemons, Ryan has limited options to counter it, with perhaps only a looping left hook over the top offering a possible solution, though even that would be risky and far from guaranteed.
Ryan versus Shakur's just a tough matchup for everybody. At 135, at 140, and some of the guys at 147, which I don't know if Shakur's ever going to go. I mean, he will, I think, at some point go to 147, but he's a tough matchup. The most educated lead hand right now, I think, in boxing. Maybe Usyk and him have the best lead hand in boxing. I mean, Ryan has a good lead hook, but Shakur's jab, the way he uses it to set up offense, the way he uses it to keep defense, the way he uses it to keep range. And yes, part of that was Teofimo not having his hands up at all, just keep getting peppered by the same thing. But damn, I don't know what Ryan does that neutralizes it, besides trying to come around the back door with the left hook over the top of it. But even then, we're talking about a looping punch getting there before a straight one. And I don't know if that's going to happen. I'd watch the fight, though. Don't get me wrong. Ryan, if he should beat Mario Barrios, yeah, of course I'd watch him fight Shakur. I just think Shakur's too good for everybody.
Despite the challenges, Plemons says he would still be eager to watch the matchup if Ryan first defeats Mario Barrios. He notes that Shakur is currently viewed as being on a higher technical level than most fighters. Interestingly, he adds that Ryan often performs best as an underdog, when expectations are lower and pressure is reduced. According to Plemons, when Ryan faces elite champions like Devin Haney or Shakur, he tends to fight more freely without the weight of being favored. In contrast, heavy expectations in fights where he is supposed to win can sometimes affect his performance. He explains that while Ryan may be favored against opponents like Romero or Barrios, the mental dynamic shifts completely when facing top-tier, multi-division champions. In those situations, Ryan's underdog mindset could actually become an advantage, allowing him to concentrate on strategy, execution, and performance rather than outside pressure.
I love something about fighting so many people don't think I'm gonna beat. It's like that Devin Haney effect.
Right.
It's like, you really think I'm not gonna beat this?
You're like a 9-1 underdog.
I think, and this is what now I'm realizing, Ryan's mentality is he loves to be an underdog because there's no pressure. There's pressure on Ryan when he is favored. There's pressure on him when a lot of people want and think he will win. When he fights a Devin Haney, when he fights a Shakur, when he fights guys that are already, multiple division world champions, he's looked at as the underdog. There's no pressure there. He can just go in and fight freely. But when he is the overwhelming favorite, when he has to put it on the line, when he's got the pressure, things flip a little bit. That's what I'm seeing.
Obviously, you were a big favorite against Rolly, and you're a big favorite again against Barrios.
Am I a favorite?
You are a big favorite, but it's a different thing, right? A lot of people in boxing are trying to say, oh...
They respect Barrios.
Yeah, they respect Barrios, and they're saying, well, maybe Ryan, if he's not taking...
Just on Rolly. Yeah, respect Barrios. Fuck Rolly.
Tiger Johnson shared an update on the upcoming WBC welterweight showdown, revealing that Devin Haney will no longer serve on color commentary as originally planned. Instead, Shakur Stevenson will join the broadcast, providing expert insight drawn from his daily training and sparring with elite fighters, giving fans a rare insider perspective. The spotlight remains on Ryan Garcia, a seasoned fighter with a record of 24 wins, 2 losses, and no draws, including 20 knockouts and only 1 stoppage defeat in his career. He is set to face Mario Barrios, the WBC welterweight champion, who enters with a record of 29 wins, 2 losses, and 2 draws, along with 18 knockouts. Notably, both Garcia and Barrios share a striking similarity, each suffering their only knockout loss at the hands of Gervonta Tank Davis, adding an intriguing layer to their matchup.
Well, Stevenson is going to be part of this color commentary for tomorrow's WBC welterweight showdown between the guy he's talking about fighting every single day and the guy's talking about fighting him every single day in KingRy, Ryan Garcia, who has 24 wins, 2 losses, no draw, 20 wins by way of knockout. 1 time in his career he's knocked out, as he's going to take on Mario Barrios, the WBC Mexican star welterweight world champion, who has 29 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 18 wins by way of knockout. He too was knocked out one time in his career. Oddly enough, Mario Barrios' only knockout in his career was to Gervonta Tank Davis. Ryan Garcia only knockout in his career was to Gervonta Tank Davis. Just take that into consideration for what you.
If Ryan Garcia wins, plans are already being lined up for a King of the Ring event where he would headline against Shakur Stevenson. The proposed co-main event would feature Devin Haney facing Keyshawn Davis, while Rolando Romero would meet Conor Benn in a featured third bout. However, everything depends on the result of the upcoming fight. If Garcia loses to Mario Barrios, the direction would shift toward a unification clash between Haney and Barrios instead. This makes the showdown especially important, as its outcome could reshape the immediate future of the welterweight division and determine the next wave of major matchups.
Already had the conversation that they want to do a King of the Ring card. The King of the Ring card will feature Ryan Garcia versus Shakur as the main event, Devin Haney versus Keyshawn as the co-main event, Rolando Rolly Romero versus Conor Benn as the third fight, and then I'm being told that His Excellency Turkey Alish wants Jarrell Big Baby Miller versus Jared Big Baby Anderson. But also, there's another major fight that they're looking to put on this card as well. And that fight could be Teofimo Lopez versus Brian Norman Jr. So it could be Teofimo Lopez versus Brian Norman Jr., Rolly Romero versus Conor Benn, Devin versus Keyshawn, then Shakur versus Ryan. But Ryan has to win tomorrow. Here's the plot.
That's all for today's video. Stay tuned and see you next time.